I'm Dorothy Mazeau. I'm a realtor with Roy LePage. And for the past several years, I've really focused a lot of my practice on working with seniors. I've received designation as a seniors real estate specialist and also as an accredited senior agent. I found certainly over the recent years that for the large majority of seniors, they really would rather not move. People would rather stay in their own home. If you've been living somewhere for 40 years, why would you want to make a change? Well, that's obviously the first question anybody would ask. Why bother moving? Well, ask yourself, has your lifestyle changed? Do your children still come to your house a lot, or you're more likely to go to their house for family celebrations? Do you travel a lot? Maybe you're away from home a lot, and then you have to make sure someone's looking after your home while you're gone. That's something to keep in mind. Also, do you still use all the rooms in your house? I think a lot of people find that really a lot of the rooms are just used for storage, either for their things or else for the kids' things. We'll put it in mom's attic. Yes, we're getting a smaller apartment. We'll give mom stuff. She has lots of space. So you may end up with a house full of things that aren't even yours. Is that really the best way to use your space? Are you finding it's harder to get around? Maybe you have stairs in your home to go upstairs to bedrooms, or maybe the laundry's in the basement. Are stairs becoming a difficulty? Would you rather be all in one level? I mean, certainly there are things you can do to make your home easier to live in, but we'll talk about that. Is home upkeep getting ahead of you? If your house needs a new roof, are you in a position to just pay to have that done? Maintenance work around the house, whether it's new carpet or whether it's making sure the landscaping lawn gets maintained, the shrubs get trimmed, whatever needs to be done. Is that something you can handle yourself, or do you really need some help with it? And has your neighborhood changed over the years? You probably were great friends with the neighbors, especially when your kids were small, because kids are a great glue in the neighborhood. You get to know their parents because the kids are playing together. The kids grow up, move away. You may find a lot of your neighbors are moving on, and new folks coming into the neighborhood who you may well get along with, or they may be very different from you. You may feel more and more isolated in your own home. Well, your mortgage is paid off, and that's another consideration. It's free to stay where you are, right? Because your mortgage is paid. Well, what are your living costs? You still have to pay for your housing in terms of, you still have taxes to pay, at the very least, and insurance, maintenance costs as they go on. You're still paying, of course, for food and transportation. Another consideration, sometimes people at a certain point have to give up the driver's license, and that becomes an issue if you're living out in the country, in an isolated area. And again, lifestyle. Do you like to travel a lot? Are you away from home a lot? Do you still entertain, or do you tend to go somewhere else when you're socializing? Well, you can make modifications to your home to help make it more safe. You can have a safety audit done, and they will evaluate your home to tell you, if you need more lighting, or do you need to have grab bars in your bathroom, or can you make modifications so that you can stay on one floor? Do you have sufficient lighting? Often as we age, we need brighter lights to be able to see. I know I do. If I'm reading, I really need a bright light, because otherwise there just isn't enough light, and that's just a fact of, as we get older, our senses do change. Non-slip flooring. Now that's important, because one of the most dangerous things and the most common causes of disability in seniors is falling. Whether it's a floor that has a rug that slips, a scatter rug, or if the house is cluttered, if there are objects scattered on the floor that you can trip on. It's a major concern, and you really need to look at your house or have someone perhaps go through it with you to see how to make sure that you're safe. Same idea, grab bars and handrails, especially in washrooms. If there's something in the shower where you can hold on to when you're getting in and out of the shower, sometimes just a towel rack will work if it's really well attached to the wall. I mean, I tend to grab onto the shower rack when I'm getting out. Just anything you can do to keep safe and avoid falling. Accessible laundry and washrooms. Again, if you're in a wheelchair, then you certainly need more space in your washroom. Again, laundry rooms tend to be in the basement. There may be space in your home to move it up to the main level, and then you can carry on and stay where you are for many years. Let's see. Oh yeah, personal alarm system. Again, that helps. If you do have a fall, if you have a personal alarm system, then you have a button that you can push that will call for help right away. They even have them now, I know, that they will sound an alarm even if you don't press the button. Just a sudden jarring motion is enough to set it off. And that's great if for someone, especially if they have any kind of dementia, they might not think to push the button, but if the button knows automatically to call for help, then that's a huge step ahead. And the costs to consider as you get older. Safety modifications, which we discussed. There are grants available from some levels of government to help cover the cost of those, but they may use a portion of the cost, it's not the whole cost. Help with cleaning and yard work. You have a housekeeper that comes in and does the vacuuming and dusting and just keeping things cleaned up, and yard work as well, lawn maintenance. Help with meal preparation. Maybe you love to cook and maybe you've done it for years, but maybe you need some help with it. Things like Meals on Wheels is certainly a wonderful option. I know that's in our community, that's a huge benefit to a lot of people that live out in isolated areas in the country especially. Well, again, help with the activities of daily living. That's dressing, bathing, eating, things that you take for granted, but at a certain point, a lot of people need help with that kind of thing. And again, there are PSWs, personal support workers, that can be arranged to come in and help with those things. Some of that, again, is covered by OHIP, Ontario Health, but some things you may well have to pay for yourself. I know the CCACs will cover a certain number of hours of support, but if you get to the point where you need more than that, you probably will have to pay someone to come in. And a lot of organizations have formed to help with that kind of thing, but you'll be paying upwards of $30 an hour to have someone come in and help you beyond what the government will do. If you're taking a lot of medications, which many seniors are, you need help just organizing that and making sure that you're taking the meds at the time that you should. Now, as long as you're healthy and everything is working right, then you certainly can go on for many, many years. But these are things to consider as we get older, things do start to change. I do have a publication available, if you're interested, about the costs of aging in your home and comparing those to what the costs would be if you were going to move into a private commercial retirement home. It's pretty eye-opening when you see what the costs are just to stay where you are. Again, God willing, you'll be dancing till you're 100 years old, but it could well be that most of us are going to need some help somewhere along the line. So, what's your plan? You have a financial plan, you probably have insurance, you probably have investments, things that you know that you have cash to last you, you know how much you have every month and how you're going to spend it, get through emergencies. You have a health plan, you have health insurance. Make sure that you're covered in case of medical emergencies. So, do you have a housing plan? What's a housing plan? Well, the purpose of a housing plan is to make sure that you're prepared to take whatever steps you need to take in any emergency situation that arises, so that you're not caught off guard and you can just move ahead with your plan. So the elements of your housing plan: downsizing, finding a realtor, knowing the value of your home based on its condition, improving the conditions of your home, and timing of the sale. Now, downsizing, that's something you may have heard a lot about. There are companies now that specialize in helping people just to take care of all the stuff that you've accumulated over the years. It's an important step to do, even if you're planning to stay where you are, because God willing, you stay where you are for your whole life, but then the day comes when your children have to look after you, taking care of what's in your house. And the more you can do, even if you're staying in your own home, the better. And you'll find it's a lot more pleasant to live in a decluttered house. It's safer too, because you don't have things to trip over, you don't have trouble finding things. It's a very pleasant way to live. It's time to call your kids and tell them to come and take all the stuff that they've been storing in your house. And then you can have a big garage sale. Again, it's something that you probably could use some help with, and whether your kids are available to help or not, there are, again, companies that do that. Downsizing Divas is a big one that's quite active in the Toronto area. And they'll help you even go through paperwork and help you decide what to keep, what to throw away. A lot of times we get attached to certain objects to remind us of wonderful memories. One thing that you can do, take a picture of the object, because really the memory is not in the object. The memory is something that doesn't take up a lot of space. A photograph will help you to remember that. So you have to decide what to keep. And again, if you're staying where you are, you certainly have space, but remember that someday someone's going to have to go through all your stuff and decide what's worth keeping. And again, move it on to someone that will love it, if you like. You can give it away to family if they want it. You'll find a lot of kids these days don't really want your mother's china. They want by their own IKEA material, or they have their own style, their own tastes. Furniture, the big dining room set, a lot of kids don't want a big dining room set. So really, a lot of it you can't give away unless you donate it to charity, and that's certainly another possibility. What to sell. You may well have some valuables, and there are people that specialize, whether it's antique specialists, or there are people that specialize in estate sales, and they will help you go through your house, and you decide what you want to keep, what you want to sell. They'll tell you, they'll have an idea what the value of it is. They have online auctions, they have in-home auctions, and then at the end of the day they will help you get rid of what's left over as well. But it's a very valuable service, and they have antique dealers that they work with. They have specialists in various collections, whether it's stamp collections, photography, coin collections. There are people that specialize in that. I think we find as more and more of us age, that more and more of us need this kind of service, and so the services are becoming available. What to throw away. Now, a lot of us have stuff that we've held on to for years. Take a good look at it and decide, out it goes. You really don't need it anymore. You've been holding on to that lumber in the garage for so many years because you might build something with it. Get rid of it. So if you make the decision that you're getting ready to think about moving, it's time to find a realtor. Now, finding a realtor even before you're ready to jump into the market is a good idea, because the realtor can help advise you on the current value of your home, so you'll know how much money you have to work with, and you can decide what you want to invest in a new home or whether you want to put it in savings and rent. But it will help you begin to make that financial part of your plan. A realtor can also recommend improvements to your home, whether it's as simple as a coat of paint, or replacing carpet with hardwood, or perhaps redoing the bathrooms. There are some things that are worth doing and some things that aren't worth doing, and a realtor can give you a good idea of what you should be doing. A realtor can help you find people that can make these improvements for you. There are a lot of home renovators out there, a lot of people in construction, with all different levels of quality, so you want to make sure to get someone good, and obviously get a few quotes so that you know something to compare one quote with another, and by all means check references if you're working with a builder, because there's a wide range of quality of builders out there. Your realtor can keep you up to date on market conditions. If you're trying to decide when is the best time for you to sell, they can update you. They told you what your home is worth. Maybe 3 months later you want to have that done again. As you get closer to when you're going to move, to know have things changed and what strategy would you want to employ if you're going to sell your home. And it's also a good idea to get to know each other before you get to the point of listing your home, so that you're comfortable with each other, you've talked, you really get to know them, because selling your home is going to be a stressful time at the best of times, and the more comfortable you feel with a realtor, the better off you'll be. And do consider hiring someone that has a designation of a senior real estate specialist or accredited senior agent, someone that has worked with seniors a lot, knows the issues that you face, and also has contacts in the various areas where you'll need help, whether it's a downsizing help person or someone to do the renovations, or even if you want to stay in your own home, they can help with people to do the renovations for that too. So a senior real estate specialist, as I said, they're educated in facing the issues that seniors face in making a move. Also working with family dynamics. I mean, yes, you've lived there for 40 years in your home. Your kids, that may be the only home they've ever known, and they may have certain emotional attachments that make it hard for them to let go, but you're the one that has to make the decision. And if you want family members involved, that's great. I can help work with your kids if they need to be convinced that it's time for you to move ahead. Again, I have the resources to help with all aspects of your move, whether it's people to do the painting or the renovating or finding a moving company. There are companies that specialize in working with seniors. And if you're moving to a retirement home or a smaller condo, they can even help you decide what to take with you, what to sell or get rid of, and even can do a layout, and the movers can arrange your house so that when you move into your new condo, all the furniture has been placed. They know that seniors need a little extra help, and they're prepared to do that. And again, a good realtor will know what your options are as you look forward to choosing your new home. Well, 40% of the older adults, their home is really their primary asset. Some people have savings in stocks and bonds, RIFs, and various income sources, but for 40%, their home is it. And the condition of your home can affect the value up to 30%. So it's well worth keeping your home maintained, making sure the roof is done. The furnace, roof, windows, and furnace are the three big things in a home that's over 15 years old. You'd want to make sure that those are done. If you don't do them yourself, absolutely, you don't have to, but it will affect what someone is willing to pay for your home. And this is your most important asset, so it's important to protect it. So in improving the condition of your home, I think the biggest thing to look at is the basement. If there are any moisture problems in the basement, it's really important to take care of that, because if you get mold in your basement, that's a huge issue, and it can really impact the value of your home. I know one case where an offer was made conditional on a home inspection. They had the home inspection done, they found mold. They went further step and had air quality tests done. I think in the end they made an adjustment to the price of $30,000 just to make up for the cost of what they'd have to do to repair the basement. So by all means, have your basement inspected and make sure that it's in good shape. Repair and replace the roof. Now every 15 or 20 years, maybe even less than that, roof shingles will wear out and need to be replaced. Also protects you from getting further leaking in your home. Windows that are more than 25 years old will probably need to be replaced. After that, you can replace them. There are various technological improvements, but the basic quality of windows in terms of being double glazed and being fairly airtight, you're probably okay with windows that are newer than 25 years old. Some people just want new windows, and that's fine too, but it's your call whether or not you want to take that step. If the furnace is more than 15 years old, definitely should consider replacing it. If it's been well maintained over the years, it could well last longer than that, but get it evaluated, and so that you can tell any prospective purchaser really what they're going to have to look for in the near future. Plumbing and electrical services. If you have, well, not many homes have knob and tube wiring anymore, but some do. Some of the houses built in the 70s and early 80s have aluminum wiring, which can be a problem. It can be okay, but you need to have it inspected and have an electrical safety authority inspector come in and make sure that all the connections have been done properly, because it can be a fire hazard if it's not done properly. Painting. Painting, replacing flooring. A lot of people prefer hardwood to carpet, but at least if you do want to recarpet, make sure that it's a good quality carpet. Timing of the sale, really. I think the most important thing is decide where you want to go before you decide to put your house on the market. I can never list a house for someone unless they can tell me at least what area they're going to. Maybe don't put an offer on a place right away because you may not want to buy conditional on sale of your home, but at least have an idea of where you're going to go and start looking. And have a contingency plan. If you sold your house and you didn't have someplace else, where can you go in between? And the other time is if circumstances force you or your family to make a fast decision. And that's really what you want to avoid, because making a decision to move, it's stressful at the best of times, and if a medical emergency happens, or if you are removed from the home because you really are not safe there anymore, then your children may take control or someone else, and then you really lose control over what happens with all of your things. I know I've seen sad situations where a parent moves into a retirement home, the children come and just put a dumpster up to the house and just put everything in the dumpster. So the more you can do while you're still in control and still feeling able-bodied and vigorous and can make the decision yourself, by all means, do that. But just make sure you know where you're going to go. I have also some publications that are available to help you go through the steps in getting ready, your house ready for sale. So I have some displays over here, which I guess you can look at after. But this is one of them, selling your home. It covers all the steps that you need to go through. Choosing your next home. And this is where, once you've decided, you really at least need to think about making a move. Before you've decided to do it, you know, again, no one's pushing anyone to move faster than they wish, but again, it's a good idea as part of your housing plan to decide, if push comes to shove, this is what you want to do. Excuse me. You could choose to move to a smaller bungalow, a one-story home. There are a number of those being built, but they never seem to have enough. A bungalow tends to be more expensive than a two-story home just because it has more basement area and more, it's more expensive to have to build a 2,000 square foot basement with a 2,000 square foot bungalow than it is a 1,000 square foot basement with two floors on top of it. But again, getting rid of stairs is an important consideration. A condominium bungalow or apartment. Now, a condominium bungalow means that you have shared the road system usually, and the parking and parks and recreation areas are shared among all of the owners. Often they'll have some kind of a condominium building. Examples would be Rosedale Village in Brampton is one, or Greenbrier in Alliston is another. And of course, apartments, condominium apartments are certainly more commonly familiar. So again, you buy a unit, but you also have a share of the common expenses, which is billed every month. Market rental apartments. Often condominiums actually are rented out, so if you choose not to reinvest your money in a purchase, you can put your money into an investment, let it earn interest, and help to support yourself that way while you're renting an apartment. I believe there are more rental apartments being built because there is a demand for them, but also I know a lot of condos, people will buy them and then rent them out, so it's definitely an option. Seniors rental apartments. A lot of those are include assisted living and also have some rent geared to income, so there is some subsidy available for those if your income is such that you qualify. Usually there is quite a long waiting list for those, even as much as 7 years. So if you're even thinking about going that route, it's a good idea to register yourself with the region, whether it's the region of Peel or York region, wherever you happen to live. Retirement homes, that's becoming quite a big business these days. There are a number of companies that are building these. This one, there's Montgomery Village in Orangeville is a close one to Caledon, where I live. And they're beautiful facilities. They include all your meals. They include room. They often have swimming pools. They have function rooms. It's really quite a luxurious lifestyle, but they are not cheap. They range in cost between $3,000 to $5,000 a month. And that goes up if you do need any kind of assistance. To a certain level, they may provide some, but you may have to hire extra help to help you if you do need help with the activities of daily living, as they're called. They're definitely an option, but a lot of people find that they're a bit costly for what they want to spend. Long-term care facilities. Now, these are run by the province, the Ministry of Health and Long-Term Care. You would not go there unless you really needed nursing help. Really, they don't tend to be the most pleasant places to live. It's really more of a necessity if there's no place else for you to go and you need the nursing help. Okay? Yeah, some other options that you could consider. Life lease apartments. These are buildings that are privately built by community organizations, often as a nonprofit, as a way to provide housing that's not developer-driven, so it can be financed by the community group, and they aim to be a lower cost, so they're less expensive than condominiums. What you do is you purchase the right to occupy, 99-year lease, which is fully transferable, and it's almost like market rent housing, but it's generally a little bit less expensive, and because it's driven by the community, there's a much more of a communal feeling about it, really. Abbey Fields, another community setting. There's one in Caledon, Ontario that's been open now for a few years. That's a case where there are 12 residents living there, 12 able-bodied, able to get around, take care of themselves, but room and board are covered. There's a full-time, 24 hours a day housekeeper who lives on the property, who prepares meals. Someone comes in on the weekend, so she has some time off. But she organizes all the meals, the shopping, she handles any trades that need to come in, and general housekeeping, and she supervises the housekeeping. People that live there enjoy it. I know they have yoga classes there, they have painting classes, they have a library. Really, people can plan their own outings too, because it's a place to live, almost like dormitory living. It's kind of when you were in college, if you lived in a college dormitory. Your room and board's covered, and other than that, you're free to do as you please. So, a lot to be said for that. an apartment in a private home. Most municipalities now will allow you to build an apartment either in your basement or in your garage. You have to comply with zoning requirements, so in areas that are very, very congested, you probably couldn't do it. But it's definitely a way, either in your home, you could put an apartment and then have someone come there to help you, or you can move into an apartment either in a family member's home or a friend's home, or just available through the open rental market. You can move in with a family member. Now that depends on how well you get along with your family. In some cases this works, in some cases it's not such a good idea, so you'll have to know for your own situation. Sharing a home with friends. Now this is something that's very dear to my heart, because I've been sharing a home with friends for really the past 20 years. In fact, the home I live in now, I shared with a mother and daughter. The mother, when we first started sharing, was about 72 years old and beginning to have health issues. When her daughter and I would come home from work, she'd have dinner ready for us, and it was just great. But over time, her health began to deteriorate, and she passed away about 5 years ago at the age of 85. And at that point, we had PSWs coming in daily. She had companions coming in from Caledon Community Services. Really, she could not have lived in her own home if it hadn't been there were two of us there. We both worked full-time, but because we could spell each other and because we didn't have help coming in, she was able to stay there until like 2 weeks before she passed away. And she was a friend. She was a friend. So it was a wonderful situation, and I could wish for that for myself someday.